Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we're going to have a look at a map which is flying high on the Steam charts at the moment by a creator we have done 6 times in the past, and they've never scored fewer than 10 stars, and that was on just one occasion. Of the last 3 maps they've released, we've given them 14, well, I've given them 14 stars on 2 occasions. This particular map, not one of my outright favourites of theirs, but compared to all of the other maps flying high at the moment, it stands out like a brilliant sore thumb. Now, what can you do with your brilliant sore thumbs? If you can be brilliant with them and maybe brilliantly get them extra sore by rubbing a button, well, being brilliant with your sore thumbs really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day, so thanks for your support. Today's map is a Breidablik by Waftthrudnir. Waftthrudnir, do you remember Bruck? That was the most recent one, 14 stars, so close to 15, that one. Looks amazing from up here, I think we can all agree with that. But what does the start square look like? Well, it looks a bit like this. Yep, definitely usable, lots of buildable space in that start square. One of my favourite parts of the map, actually. The overview of the terrain heights shows that there are lots of flattish areas, although it's not a superbly flat map. And then the resources, well, definitely can do stuff with that, I think. Definitely can do stuff with that. Off to the workshop, no DLC required. The Stray Cats theme, Homecoming is the main theme. Network extensions too, by the way, for those and such. Relight required for relight settings. Theme mixer, because we're also mixing in the Not So Rocky Hills theme for the cliffs. For the cliffs. Right, and here's the one-click collection, because one-click collections are very helpful to all of us guys that don't want to have to add things individually. A little scroll down through the plants and rocks and tunnel entrances. There we go. Unlimited trees is also down there as well. Okay, so as maps go, it looks very nice indeed. Theme is an excellent theme, of course, and there's not going to be too many problems in terms of detail. I'll tell you right up front, there's not going to be too many problems with detailing at all. It's just a question of, is this map to your taste? Is there enough flat build space in it? Is it aesthetically pleasing to you? Did you want a little bit more landmass in the middle of the map? These are the things that you're going to be looking for. Me, I'm just going to take a usual fly through, little cruise through. You can get a feel for the map as a whole, and I can build up towards me being super lucky. I'm going to pretend I was very clever here. I was super clever today. So sometimes assets and maps just fall together. And today, we've got, is that an encroaching tree? It's trying to, it's not. It's okay. It's good. Don't worry. Yeah, sometimes assets and maps just fall together hand in hand after I've chosen them to go together. So I'm going to say I was super clever in my placement of the today's asset on today's map. There you go. That's our first intersection with the tunnel entrances off Sirens. Thank you, Sirens. Yes, and lovely, perfectly built bridges there. No complaints about those whatsoever. Everything's pretty fine, actually, if I'm honest with you with that. 2 lanes down to 1 lane, down to 1 lane. That looks fairly smart as well as we're moving in towards the start square area now. So yes, today's asset is an absolute dream by a creator who hasn't done anything quite like this from what I can remember. And it's just glorious. It is just glorious. Speaking of which, we're now entering Start Square territory. You may notice, however, that there is no glorious asset on view right now. As we pull up and have a little look at the Start Square. In fact, it's a little bit more to the right, more on the other side of the river than we are looking at here. But yeah, that's kind of the area that you're going to be starting on, building into, expanding into. It's all fine. It's all absolutely fine. Another perfect little bridge coming over here. But yes, I felt the asset required a little bit more of a reveal than just plonking it in the middle of a big old open plain. So I'll put it on the other side of this mountain in front of us at the moment. We will come around to it in a moment. Nicely detailed roundabout here. That is quite tidy, quite clean, quite good, quite happy. Thank you very much. Now these tunnels, got to say that I mean the road working here is excellent. You've got to say that looks great, doesn't it? But these concrete blocks behind, these square blocks that feed onto the tunnels there, they're great from most angles, but depending on what angle you want to take your screenshots off, if you want to take a screenshot from here, you can see that they're completely blocked off. So it's just a little thing. It's just a heads up. Whether that bothers you or not is, well, it's down to you really. I don't have an issue, a huge issue. Just it's down to screenshots really. Now, I thought I saw some glitching under here with the road. So you can see some glitching just at the bottom of that slip road there. I thought I'd check on the opposite side as well. I spent way too long trying to work out what this glitching was. To my embarrassment, it isn't glitching. It's not. It's sunlight creeping through the cracks in the road there. I spent ages trying to work out what the hell is causing that. Yeah, what a numpty. Anyways, even BonBon is human. Oh, barely human some days. Anyway, let's follow this national road here because it's going to take us around the side of the mountain. We're going to go around the side of the mountain to see what we can see. And what do you think we'll see? It'll be the asset of the day. But we're going to go down at road level for the last little bit of a drive around this bend here. So look at the view though. The view from here. Look at these. Mountains look pretty nice as well, don't they? Although I'm going to grumble about the mountains a little bit later on in the show. As you'll see, from a far distance they look great. Close up they look great. From medium distance, well, I'll get to them. I'll get to them, don't worry. So anyway, I'm driving along the road now. It's not as smooth as I'd like it to be. Sorry about that. But anyway, we'll soon be confronted with, look at that. Ho, ho, ho. Look at that. That's amazing. But what is it? What the freaking heck is it? Well, let me tell you, shall. Let's get on with this. It's the Quad Tsetelix. Tsetelix? Have you had your Tsetelix today? Ancient Ruins by Quad Rioters. It's a set of about 12 ploppable props that you can, well, put together in any way, shape or form you like. I think they're props actually, I'm not entirely sure, but anyway, yeah, you can plop them together, use and move it to create your own great ancient ruins, as they say. And yeah, I haven't done a particularly good job of this here. I just threw it together quickly, but even so, even with this rapid fire build, it still looks amazing, doesn't it? And that's thanks to Quad. Anyway, thanks Quad. Factoids, because factoids. King Louis XIII of France took 5 baths in his life. 5 of them. And all of them were unwillingly. No. Oh, Mum. Get in the bath, Louis. Oh, Mum. You're having a coronation on Tuesday. Oh, okay. Anyways. Quad Tsetelix, Ancient Ruins by Quad. We'll tie this into this map. I promise you it links in with this map a little bit later on. What a great thing that is. Asset of the day right there. And we'll head off this way. This way following the roads. I'm going to leave that asset there so we can check it out later. Just briefly. Another brief flyby. Tunnels. We've got a little bit of network extensions going on here, so some nicely rendered tunnels going on there, and exits here. But you may have noticed, in terms of detailing, this is probably the biggest detailing glitch with the entire map. If you come up here, you can see a little bit of tunnel glitching where the terrain has just dropped down behind it. It's a little bit too low there, and so we've got trees growing out of what looks like a cardboard box, giant cardboard box. Again, nice intersections, the Dunbar roundabouts going on there, and a nice little humpback bridge there, and it's all very nice, tidily done, and lined up nicely with the street lamps. We've got the block entrances again there, some sort of glitching going on at the back of that as well. You may have noticed with the terrain, just a minor bit of glitching. It's fine, but this more than makes up for it on this side. This looks very sleek and slick. I think Waftthrudnir must have been very proud of their work with this one. This looks very nice. Well done there. Nice little perfect bridge over here as well, and then we're nipping down off towards the edge of the map now. It's just island hopping at a very high standard, of course. And then got another little tunnel over here without the tunnel entrances. Again, network extensions too, so not really needing to hide those tunnel entrances so much, because such a good mod, such a very nice mod. And then we'll nip through here. We'll nip through here and skip through there and off towards the fog there. Okay, the rail. The rail is okay, actually. I've got one... Well, this main route here is not so bad. There might be a little bit of gradient issue. Minor stuff. Nothing that the eye has caught. Anyway, let's put it that way. There might be one or two minor bits that you might spot, but I didn't really have too many issues with it. But there is a secondary line which has got some gradient issues. Again, it's minor stuff, and I will get to that line in a moment. So I won't spoil it too much. I won't get ahead of myself too much. It's the some nice little tunnel to tunnel. Another siren. Thank you, sirens. It's impossible. I cannot live quietly in this location. I'm going to have to move. I need your help in moving, guys. Make sure you like up this video. The more likes my videos get, the more views I get. The more views I get, the more subscribers I get. More subscribers I get, the more views I get. The more views I get, the more ad revenue I get eventually. And eventually I might possibly be able to make a living from this. That'd be very helpful just to get me away from this racket, this main road that I'm like a few yards from. It's a nightmare. Anyway, we'll skip through here. And of course, if I'm able to move away, it means there's going to be less background noise for you guys. I just need to escape. I need to start a new life. Please help me. Okay, where were we? Yes, following the rail lines. Anyway, this is going to go off towards the old cliff face on the left-hand side there. You can see a little bit of texture repetition in that cliff face from here on the left. Yeah, well, we'll get to that on the second half of this show. You'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean when we get there. Anyway, we're off towards the fog, so I'm going to go and have a look at this secondary line now. Secondary line is, I'm going to call this like an abandoned line, but an abandoned line doesn't excuse really any gradient issues. It's not the worst gradient issue. Again, this is very minor. In context of a Cities Skylines map, it wouldn't matter at all. But let's have a look here. So yes, we've got trees on the line here. Now this is caused by it being a cluster of trees. And if I move that, you'll see it starts rotating randomly, crazily. And so, yeah, it might not have appeared on the line in Waftthrudnir's version of the game. But unfortunately, you can never be entirely trusting of it. But anyway, going up a little bit of a gradient here. We can make that one out. We're coming up to a bit of a peak. There's a bit of a cutting going on. A little bit of a cutting going on, but is it enough of a cutting? Are we going back down the opposite side? We are. Let's go and switch those terrain lines on and have a little look at the actual gradient, see how bad it is. It's not so bad. I mean, again, in terms of realism, probably too steep. In terms of eyeball catching, it's just catchable by the naked eye. So I think anywhere else on the map that would have deserved a tunnel of its own, I think. But anyway, we'll switch the lines off now as we head down towards the abandoned area down here. So I'm calling it an abandoned line. We've got trees encroaching here and there, which does kind of fit with an abandoned line. There'll be no through trains either because it doesn't connect through. It just connects down to this industrial area with the harbours, the jetties, the burnt out houses, and of course everybody's favourite factory. Now let's come back in a couple of moments for the rest of the review.
Are you worried that you aren't using all the best mods? And which ones best suit your needs anyway? Then you need the community voted top 10 mods of 2019. Click the information button now.
And so back to Breidablik by Waftthrudnir and shipping routes. Well, we've got this first one that comes in from the side. I'll show you that one first of all. And it just dead ends down there. That's quite cosy. And then basically there's no problems with the shipping routes. We've got a few lovely sweeping lines going on here. A few of the lovely triangles that break everything up nicely. A few dead ends where you kind of want the shipping to be able to get into. And that is fine over the tunnel there. And then this nips around here and we've got another split there. And that comes up here. We've got another split there, which is fine. And then that goes up to a lovely dead end up there as well, which is all good. All good work. Now, water flow, this is a lake up by the start square, feeds past the start square. It's a big lake, big lake. But the water does push on out of that lake very nicely out into this river network and kind of out into the water network. I don't think you'll have any problems with water flow on the map at all. Although we have got this little inlet here, and this little inlet here, which looks like it might be a sewage trap possibly. So just be a little bit careful. with that particular inlet there. Okay, let's have a look at the map as a whole. Looks great, doesn't it? Looks very, very nice. Yeah, the main buildable area in the middle here, it's kind of like, it feels a little bit islandy, although it's not an island. There's lots of jagged coastline going on. There's plenty of buildable area. This is where you're going to be starting over here. Plenty of buildable area going on there. Plus you can expand around into this area and expand around to where the ruins were as well. So you've got kind of all of that is covered in terms of flatness. When you expand out beyond that, it's a little bit hilly, but it's not unbearable. It's not unbearable. So a little bit more challenging as you push on out. Got some really nice tree covered expansions to the map is what I'm going with. I didn't mean that, but I'm going to go with that one. Some lovely islands. And have a look at the cliff faces along here. So this is what I'm going to moan a little bit. Now, we're using Theme Mixer to use the not so rocky cliffs, and in isolation out here they look great. They look absolutely great, and from a great distance they look good as well. But when you get to mediocre distance, so we're going to pull right in on this cliff face again. I'm picking on this poor cliff face, I'm picking on you. You almost see a face in the cliff actually. And anyway, you can see how we got some sort of like repeating pattern there. It's just sort of like, yeah, it's like a woody jumper or something. I've just switched it now back to the Stray Cats theme, the actual cliff texture that comes with the theme before it's mixed out. And I think I prefer it. Although you are losing this little cliff edge, harsh edge along here. It's down to personal taste, of course. I'm reviewing it with the correct mix on because this is as it's meant to be. As you come in really close again, you lose that repetition. It's just as you pull back, and then when you pull back further, it kind of like blurs into each other. So yeah, it's down to taste. It's always everything's down to taste, isn't it? Now, rivers. Waftthrudnir is really good at rivers. I don't think this is their best river map. I really don't. We've got one or two patches that just feel a little bit light, like here. This comes and goes, I've found. It doesn't actually completely die out, but it does. It takes a while to settle, and then you get another little dry patch pushing on through. And then it seems very straight in places and a little bit bare along the riverbanks as well. I mean, I know we're looking at cliffy type edges here, but I'm just not buying into this particular river. It's nice at the top, mind you. The lakes are great, and we've got some feeder streams coming off the mountain, which are pretty damn nice as well. I'm not going to look at those right now because they're right off in the fog. This is weird to me. This is a little bit of a, well, it's a pit of an oblivion. It's about 35 meters deep, maybe. The water's pouring in there and then carrying on. I would have rather that not been quite so deep, but I'm sure 20 of you are going to tell me, yep, well, there's one in Yosemite Park that looks just like, anyway, you know what I mean. I believe I'm supposed to really like this waterfall, this chain of steps of waterfalls, and oh, sorry, bouncing around a little bit there because of the non-flat land. Yeah, I kind of do like it. I kind of do, but then I kind of don't at the same time. I do like the river further on up as it goes off into the fog, the way it zigzags through the forest. I like that. But for me, this waterfall, it's just too straight. It goes on a long way and it just cuts a straight line. And again, you're going to tell me that there are plenty that do this, but I would like to have seen it just find a way of maybe cutting through this way, or maybe cutting a little bit wider into one of these areas. I don't know exactly how I would have done it. I'm just looking at that as I'm thinking that's a little bit eye-catchingly straight for my taste. That's all. Okay, what more can we have a look at? I'm sure there's stuff I haven't had a look at yet. Over here we've got here we go. We've got this like marshy area, and it's a little bit different, this. And normally I would mark this down because you look at this and you go, well, this isn't marshy. It just doesn't make any sense. It sticks so high up. It's so bold and clear and stark, isn't it? It really is. It's kind of like a little, well, reclaimed area. But there's more to it than that. So spin this around and we'll pull back. Have a little pull back there. There you go. It's a giant bird, a parrot possibly, but it's a huge bird. Now that ties in with today's asset of the day. I'm not going to tell you about it myself. I'm going to ask you to go and check out the workshop page for this asset from Quad. Thank you very much for rumbling past my... Thank you. Yeah, go and check this one out. All the links are in the description. So yeah, go and check out Tsetelix, sorry. And have a little read of the description and you'll see how it ties in. And I call myself a genius for managing to do this. Anyway, that's about it. What do you think of this map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. Ooh, it's the Essential Lighthouse. Yeah, your vote really does count. We'll use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. So what do I think? I think it looks really good, doesn't it? I think it looks really good. Can't quite give it the 5th star because I've got some grumbles. I have got some grumbles, haven't I? But I still think it looks really smart and it's getting 4 strong stars from me. Detailing. It can't get 5 stars. For a start, we've got that tunnel that's like glitching a little bit. But overall, the standards are very high. You expect no less from Waftthrudnir. The standards are going to be very high. Can't get a 5th star, so therefore it's a solid 4 again. Gameplay potential, tricky one here. I'm not enthused to want to play it. I love it, but I love looking at it. I don't think I want to play. And I think the gameplay potential, a lot of it is from enticement. I'm going to give it a strong 3. There's nothing wrong with it. You can play it if you want to. You'll have no issues with it. I just don't feel that it really drags you in. So 3 stars for gameplay. Breidablik by Waftthrudnir, again, top quality. Top quality. Seal of approval, I can't really give it because I think I would recommend you played Brook or any one of, at least half of the others he's created so far. And so it doesn't stand out enough for me to really deserve the seal, but if this was his first map, he'd get it, definitely. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. Join me tonight for Flowscape. I'm giving away a copy of Flowscape tonight, so don't miss that show. And I'll see you tomorrow for another map in the What's Map series. Thanks for watching. You've been BonBonB, and I've been very, very welcome.